Hi, this is Kerry Artag with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Tesla report for Thursday, February 2nd, 2023. Before I jump into the charts like this one, I just want to encourage you to please click like, if you would, each and every time you watch the daily Tesla report. It helps us out a great deal in being found. The algorithms really kick in when you have more likes to view ratio. Also, subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. You'll be provided notification each and every time we upload the daily Tesla and the daily Apple report every day, as you might imagine, along with other occasional videos throughout the month. And please share the content, if you would, with friends and colleagues. It helps us out a great deal. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit. This channel structure had been a target following the settlement about a month earlier below this structure. So, when we settled below the 155.98 to 164.09 formations, they were higher at that time. The next target was this channel structure here, which we hit. It held. And then on the way back up, we were anticipating the possibility that the 155, 164 area could actually hold buying pressures into the second quarter and that we could fall off through February and March back to this structure. That did not happen. That happened a week ago. We settled above it. That indicated longer term recovery over the next 2 to 3 months to the formation that is presently at 258.62. So the 2 to 3 month outlook remains constructive. Above, I'm just going to round it to 155.98 to 164.09, but it is changing every day, which I'll get to in a moment. And right now, I'm really sort of hinging on 159.72 to 164.52. I don't know if we'll see that area today. We might. I'll get to that in a moment too. But just know that that is our base of support, and above which I have as a 1 to 2 week target. We may see this level today, 193.16, a long-term descending 1/3 speed line projected off that all-time high back in November of 21 against B, which is the January pullback low. 221.25, a 3/8 upside Fibonacci of the same two extremes, is considered a 3 to 5 week objective. And once again, that 258.30 long-term channel top, a 2 to 3 month target, holding above the 150s, 160s. In fact, this is a good way to show it right here. Two distinct speed lines rising right now, based in part on Wednesday's high. 159.72 is a rising 1/3 speed line. Good pullback support. You can see I have it weighted as a 4-star support because it coincides with a long-term line study that I'm going to show in a moment. And 130.80 is a new rising 2/3 speed line. So holding above 159.72, 193.16 likely by the end of next week, possibly today. The 221.25 area over the next 3 to 5 weeks and over the next several months, 258.30. So now we're going to take a look and we're going to zoom in just a bit and show you all that's going on here. These line studies that are coming up are rising at a pretty aggressive pace. But in terms of 164.52, I'm just going to jump back to this chart. I do have 156.11 as a minor point, and 164.52, this long-term channel bottom that we settled above about a week ago, is a 4-star support level. So you keep that in mind, 164.52. And if we're looking at the zoomed in daily chart, you can see that long-term line at 164.52. There's also a short-term channel bottom, a 1 month channel bottom coming up, all in the 164 handle. They're all within a dime of each other. So I'm just rounding up to 164.52, and 159.72 is sort of the backstop today, that if we break 164.52, 159.72 is expected, and it may well contain selling as well, not only for the day, but through next week. And all we have to do is close the day above 164.52, and this maintains a buy pullbacks dynamic, expecting this 221.25, a longer term Fibonacci over the next 3 to 5 weeks. In fact, it's 193.16, that long-term speed line I showed a moment ago, that may well be in reach today. Now, I don't know if we're going to see 159.72 to 164.52, but if given the opportunity, this is a good area to buy, not only for the day, not only through next week, because then we could test 193.16 over the next week, but also 3 to 5 weeks up at 221. And if you are a longer-term investor, as I said a moment ago, that a 258.62 formation is a 2 to 3 month objective. That all holds true right now above this, 159.72 to 164.52 area. So in the local vicinity of, we settled around 181.41. I don't know if that was the exact settlement, but we do have 179.83, which is the high from about 4 days ago. That is an intraday, a soft intraday pivot point. If we break it, I don't know if we're going to fall all the way back to 159.72 to 164.52 on an intraday basis. Each of these minor points has been carefully chosen, and they may actually wind up containing selling for the day itself. We are in a bull move right now. I don't want to call it a bull market, but we are in a corrective dynamic, upside corrective dynamic, following 1 year of incredible bloodletting on this stock. And so there is still plenty of upside, and holding above 159.72 to 164.52 maintains that dynamic through February. And it is your opportunity to buy if given. Hi, if you enjoy watching our daily Tesla report, you'll love our daily Triple Q and SPY reports. They're presented in the same 5 to 10 minute video format. Our daily SPY and Triple Q analysis provides directional market signals that are correlated with highly specific price support and resistance levels. Whether your trading time horizon is short or longer term, we promise you a distinctive edge in your trading of the SPY and Triple Q. We offer a 5-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. So go to wickedstocks.com right now and start receiving your daily SPY and daily Triple Q reports today. Now, holding above 179.83 does allow the 193.16 speed line here again within the day. And we could top out there for the day, possibly well into next week. From here, fall back into some variation of these line studies. Now, keep in mind that every time we put out a new high, these speed lines get readjusted. And so, it's a kind of a day-to-day task to determine what are the trend-defining support levels. So when I say if we test 193.16 over the next day or two, will we fall back to 159.72? It may well be, and actually I can tell you, it will be a different line study at that time, but it'll probably be in the 150s or 160s at that point in time. Also know that if we happen to settle today above 193.16, you can see we're probably just inside of 2 weeks from reaching this 221.25 long-term 3/8 Fibonacci, where we could actually top out into March trade. This may actually contain longer-term buying pressures, and we could fall off from here. How far south? Difficult to say, of course, perhaps all the way back to this zone that I mentioned at the start of the video. So let's talk downside, that if things get ugly to the downside and we happen to, well, let me show this image. If we break 159.72, we may test 152.48 intraday with that kind of volatility. 152.48 would be right around where you can see my cursor. I don't expect to see that. I actually don't even expect to see the mid 160s today, but it is certainly possible. If we happen to close, though, below 159.72, then I'm off that upper target at 193.16 and 221.25, at least for the time being, because at least the timing of them, no more expecting 193.16 by the end of next week or 221.25 over the next 3 to 5 weeks, because then over the next 1 to 2 weeks, we should continue south to 130.80. So if we close today below 159.72, 1 to 2 week downside objective at 130.80, where we should bottom out on a weekly basis, possibly through the balance of February. And from there, we could turn back up perhaps to these upper levels that I've already mentioned. And the timing then would be recalibrated, so to speak. Now, will we, in the coming weeks, fall all the way back to this meaningful long-term support area in the 89.41 to 101.12 region? And you can make a case for all these little levels all the way down, but the backstop on that, the holdout for that, is 130.80. Not unless we close below 130.80 am I comfortable then anticipating yet another test of that long-term channel support that is presently between 89.41 and 101.12. Anything I say beyond this would be repetitious, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Please click like if you would and subscribe. I appreciate all of your support. You have a great evening, and we will talk soon.